Spring sports now. It was an historic season for the Whitehall boys volleyball team back in 2019. The Zephyrs went undefeated through the regular season and carried that unblemished mark through the APC and district tournaments before finally suffering their first and only loss of the year in the PIAA quarterfinals. It's 2 years later, though, and as you might expect, the program will look a bit different heading into 2021. Cassie Schmidt has more on what to expect in Whitehall.
The Zephyrs have been itching to get back on the volleyball court together after a full season off, but it'd be that off-season work that's prepared them for the 2021 year.
I think the off-season work really helps us out right now because right after we heard about the cancellation, we were all at West Caddy courts playing together, getting as much volleyball experience as we could get, and I think that really translated to this year because we're all still a tight-knit group with a bunch of team chemistry.
You know, I feel great. I know these guys, they really feel good. You know, they're chomping at the bit, you know, to get back in the gym. And, you know, we were fortunate to be in open gyms and things as such before the season. So, you know, just getting at it every single day is really good for these guys.
We're very excited. I know the intensity's up, definitely, and it's the long-awaited off season. So we're really just ready to get right back out there and pick up where we left off.
Even though the Zephyrs are coming into this season as defending EPC and district champs, they still feel like they have plenty to prove after the loss of not one, but two very impactful senior groups.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that, like, you know, those guys that were from 19, they had to get better going against somebody in practice, and it was these guys. So, you know, it always works that way. It really does, and they were pushing them, and they were getting pushed, you know, in the opposite. So they're going to be fine. They're trained, you know, properly in what we do, and we feel good about that.
I think right now we're the underdogs because we got to come up and prove that we're just like 2019's team. You know, we can be just as dominant as they were, even though they graduated 5 or 6 seniors. We know that we can step up and fill their shoes.
They were definitely a big part in Whitehall volleyball, but we're ready to pick up where they were and just kind of be as good as they were, if not better.
The last time Parkland and Whitehall would meet would be in the district final when the Zephs swept the Trojans for the crown, and now that matchup will be the first of this 2021 season.
That's a good one to start with. Maybe years ago when I first started, I would be like, oh man, we got to start with them. But, you know, we're at the point now in this program where, you know, that's what you want. You want to start off with a match. And I know Scott and his guys over across the cornfield, they're thinking the same thing. There's no doubt. You know, we got the best of them the last couple seasons, and, you know, that's in their minds, and rightfully so. And we were that way day too, and we took a couple losses to them in seasons. You know, and that's our motivation. You know, that's a big motivation. And, you know, there's mutual respect between both teams, and that's what makes that match even more fun. You know, those guys are going to battle on Friday, and, you know, they'll respect each other when it's all said and done.
We're very excited to get started with such a big game because we know based on how we play in that game, it'll really show us how we're going to play the rest of the season because we know they're going to test us and we're going to test them. And so we just want to see how we're going to show off for the rest of the season.
Reporting for the Service Electric Network, I'm Cassie Schmidt.
Thanks a lot, Cassie. Well, the must-see matches for Whitehall boys volleyball this season begins literally with their season opener. You heard Cassie talk about that Friday showdown at Parkland. Some very difficult road tests then shortly thereafter for the Zephyrs. Friday, April the 9th at Emmaus, and then Wednesday, April the 14th at Bethlehem Catholic. Before the Zephyrs are able to come home in late April, a really tough showdown, though, on Wednesday, April the 21st against Freedom before another challenging road contest on Wednesday, April the 28th at Easton. Again, this is a Whitehall boys volleyball team that lost just one total game the last time they were on the floor, and some really good early season litmus tests for Coach Cowich's group beginning this Friday at the Parkland Trojans. Well, speaking of